Hello everyone, if you are new on my channel, my name is Yemi Eweje. I'm married and I've been married for 35 years. I'm a mother, grandmother. I'm also a pastor and counselor. Today I'll be sharing another one of my testimonies with you. God has been amazingly good in my life and I have so many testimonies. I believe these testimonies will be encouraging someone today. In 2011, my mother died and we were preparing for the burial. And because she had not lived in our family home for about 8 years before then, so I went with a number of people to clean the house. And because I was opening some of the suitcases, wardrobes that had been closed up for many years, I think I inhaled some things that caused an infection in my lungs. I just noticed that I started feeling feverish after a few days. I thought it was something that would just go, but the thing didn't go. So eventually I decided to go to the hospital. And by the time they checked my oxygen level was really, really low. And that was how they discovered that it was an infection of the lungs. They also did an x-ray and they noticed that there were some spores on my lungs. And they started with antibiotics. And they expected that after a few days I would begin to get better, but I didn't get any better. I was in intensive care unit for like 10 days. I was admitted in one of the highest private hospitals in Nigeria, in Lagos at that time. And they consulted with many doctors around to find out what was actually happening, because they tried all the antibiotics they felt will help, nothing helped. And at a particular time, the doctor walked into my room that we're going to try this other drug. And when it comes to antibiotics, this is the peak of it. So they tried that one also, it didn't work. Then they started on antifungal. They felt maybe it was a fungal infection. They started that. There was no improvement. They also did, I don't know what to call it. There was something they used to look into my lungs. I was seeing it on the screen. And they even noticed that it wasn't getting any better. So at a particular point in time, they got in touch with a consultant at LASUTH. Is a specialist with lungs and lung infections, and the specialist said that they should bring me. So they just came to me that the ambulance was ready, that they were going to take me to LASUTH. I said, no, I can't just go like that. I need to wait for my husband to come. And while we were waiting for him to come, I just prayed. I said, God, I only want to leave this hospital if it is your will for me to go. If it is not your will, let them change their plans. And by the time my husband arrived, maybe 1 hour later, they said, no, we decided that you are not going there again. And I thank God I didn't go, because it was like they had tried everything they knew how to, and they felt, we can't help you again. You just need to go somewhere else. My husband started thinking of flying me abroad. So we started finding out how much it will cost, and they said the state I was then, I won't be able to make it in a normal aircraft, that I needed air ambulance. And by the time they told us how much air ambulance will cost, we knew that we couldn't afford it. We had to look up. It was a very trying time for us as a family. We called upon God, we prayed, and one night, it was as if I was hearing God speaking to me directly. And he said I should get paper and pen and write down. You know, all this while I was lying down, helpless. At the point in time, I couldn't even get out of bed again. Initially, I would wheel the oxygen tank to the bathroom and back. But after a while, I couldn't get out of my bed again. But this night, the Lord empowered me. I was able to sit up. I told the nurse on duty to please give me paper and pen. And as I was hearing, I was writing. And the Lord was speaking to me from John chapter 15. He said, I am the vine, you are the branch. Because you are connected to me, my life flows to you. Because my life is flowing to you, the devil cannot take your life. He said I should write these things down and begin to say them to myself. And that night, that was around 2 a.m. in the night, I started saying these things to myself. Within 1 or 2 days, the doctor came. When he checked my SpO2, he said, oh, we need to see whether you can actually go off the oxygen now. So he took me out, disconnected the oxygen, and sat with me for about 30 minutes. And he discovered that I could breathe normally without extra oxygen. And that was when I was taken out of the intensive care unit. And, you know, within about 3 to 4 days, I was discharged out of the hospital. This is another wonder till today. And, you know, the doctors, they don't actually know what happened. They have no explanation for my recovery. They just noticed that I recovered. And some of the nurses said, madam, the day you are going to do Thanksgiving in your church, we want to be there to come and testify to what we saw. God is amazingly good. I shouldn't be alive today. In my life, I have had very close, 4 times, I've had close shave with death. And the one I just shared with you today is one of them. God is faithful. God can be trusted. God is amazing. God bless you.